Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well. Today, our topic is food intolerance and allergy in women. Okay, so this week, this topic is going to be special because when I was trying to Google it, I couldn't find many resources. So today, we have very special guest. Tracy is here. So let me introduce myself. My name is Anjali, and I am health and wellness coach. Okay, so Tracy is trying to join in. Okay, hi Claire, thank you for coming back. Yes, yes, and I am. Here we go. Here she is.
Yay.
Welcome,
I was
Tracy. Thank you
doing
so
on
much
my
for
phone.
coming. Yes. So I
No.
was, yeah, I was introducing myself. I'm health
Okay.
and wellness coach, and yes, health and wellness coach, and I'm the founder of this page. And today we have amazing Tracy here, who is clinical nutritionist, and I'm going to from raw.human.nutrition, right?
Yeah.
Instagram. Okay, Claire is keep dropping out as going through hills. Oh, she's traveling at the back, and so she's watching us. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, she is classic. Yeah, so you are a clinical nutritionist with a Bachelor in Health and Science, and your practice encompasses the philosophy of holistic health, where you look to treat the cause, not just a symptom, right? And you are passionate about women's health across the various life stages, gut health, athlete nutrition, and mental health. All the things that we need to look into in women, don't we?
Yeah,
Has
for
got,
sure.
yeah, awesome. And then before we start our live, I just wanted to say something important, that this topic is all about to bring awareness, educational, and general information on food intolerance and allergy in women. This is not a specific advice or diagnosis for you. If you have any concern, please go to see your health practitioner. Okay, so, or you can stay till the end, watch our live, and then at the end we have Q&A session with Tracy, and we can participate at that time. Okay, or if you want to send her a personal message, we will put all the all the details in the comment, in the content. Okay, so would you like to add in anything, Tracy?
No, great summary. Thanks, Ange. Yeah, just with the diagnosis thing and talking about what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
I do want to acknowledge that, yeah, everybody is different, and there's
Mm-hmm.
so many contributing factors that can manifest as a food intolerance. So we'll touch on some of those, but sometimes it's not the food that's the problem. We'll get into this a bit further shortly.
Okay. Awesome. So we will jump right into the first one is, what is the food allergy and what is the intolerance? If you could, give us a little
Give you a bit of a
bit of
summary. Yeah.
explanation that we
So
can
I have got
understand.
some notes on my laptop because that just helps with my nerves. So if I seem to be
Okay.
reading, I am. Sorry.
Okay. All
So
good.
both food allergies and intolerances are described as adverse food reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And a food allergy is the adverse effect arising from a specific immune response. So it occurs every time that person's exposed to the food or the
Mm-hmm.
substance within food. And those components are going to trigger an acute immune reaction normally. Some common examples that we're probably all aware of are like the peanut and seafood allergy.
Mm-hmm.
And they can cause severe anaphylactic reactions, which can be life-threatening to some people. And that's where, yeah, you lose your ability to breathe at the time. And these
Mm-hmm.
people often have to carry an EpiPen around with them to
Yeah.
overcome that. Other common foods known to elicit an allergic response are cow's milk, eggs, soy, and wheat.
Mm.
those can tend to create a more mild to moderate symptoms like swelling in the mouth or tingling, swelling of the eyes. Some people get hives on their skin, or abdominal pain and vomiting. So most food allergies will present themselves in childhood. So we should already know if we have one. And then as the immune system matures, we can grow out of these allergies. So this is one of the reasons we're recommended to not feed our babies solids until they're at least 6 months old to, help reduce the potential for this to arise. Then food intolerances, so they're more common than allergies. They affect, that says, around 25% of the population, and it can involve multiple systems with diverse symptoms. So the food intolerance, it mainly refers to the inability to metabolize, digest or absorb certain foods. So a common one here that we probably know is the lactose intolerance. And this is a result of the enzyme deficiency called lactase, and this is required to break down the milk sugars. So this can be a genetic thing. A lot of people have this passed down. If they have this intolerance, they'll often experience gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes diarrhea. If they have cow's milk that's got lactose in it, you can get the lactose-free ones these days, and we have plenty of plant milk alternatives on the market. Other common food intolerance symptoms can range from headaches and migraines to sneezing, runny nose, bloating, brain fog, joint pain, and stomach cramps, the common ones. So they can be more complicated to identify because the reaction can be delayed and because everybody is so unique. So when I'm speaking with people, I find bloating's a common thing they come to me for. When we're investigating what's causing the symptoms, this is where the holistic approach is so important, because we really do a deep dive into the digestive system to see what potentially is preventing them from being able to tolerate the food. So more often than not, optimizing and healing someone's digestive system can help resolve the issues. So that's the basic overview of those two differences.
Yes, so it's so with the allergy is it's when you are little. So it shows so it occurs when you are little,
Mainly in
and
childhood, yeah.
then in the childhood, and then it is so the reaction will be quicker than in intolerance. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's usually the case. Sometimes you can have a delayed asthma and things like that. It won't always be immediate, or eczema. The skin type reactions are not always instant.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a very specific class 1 immune reaction.
Okay. So if you have just joined in, welcome. Thank you so much for coming here today. We have amazing Tracy here, who is clinical nutritionist. And we just covered what is the food allergy and and then intolerance. So now we're going to move into how the symptoms can be different in women than other people.
Yeah, so with this question, I want to focus specifically around histamine intolerance, and fructose is actually something that's more prevalent in women. So with histamine, there's a link between estrogen and mast cells, which make histamine, and then the female dominant hormones, progesterone, plays a role too. So histamine is naturally produced in our bodies, and it's got lots of useful jobs. We need it for stomach acid regulation. We need it for brain stimulation, and it plays a role in female reproduction. It is also found in some foods. It's a type of an amine compound.
Yes.
So we need histamine in our bodies, but we need it in the right balance. So in our bodies, it's produced by mast cells, and they are found throughout the body. And estrogen actually stimulates mast cells to release histamine. So when you might find, I don't know if people experience this, but when your estrogen is higher around the ovulation and then just before your periods, or fluctuating in perimenopause, we can experience symptoms of high histamine like runny nose, watery eyes, sneezing, even the red flushing or rashes, or even headaches. High histamine, interestingly, can also cause anxiety, irritability, and insomnia. So we naturally produce a couple of enzymes that are designed to break down the histamine and clear out the excess to keep the balance, keep it all regulated. However, estrogen actually downregulates the function of one of these primary enzymes, the DAO enzyme. So not only is it releasing histamine, it's downregulating the ability to break it down. And in addition to that, histamine stimulates the ovaries to make more estrogen. So it's like a vicious cycle going on.
Yes.
Yeah. Progesterone, on the other hand, has a calming effect on the mast cells, and then it can also help the production of that DAO enzyme. So you can see where this might be a problem in perimenopause when we've got all these fluctuations going on. So some other reasons that we might have too much histamine coming into our body can be some food type things like alcohol. And then there's some food sensitivities which can activate the mast cells to release histamine. That's where cow's dairy can play a part. A general chronic inflammation. A lot of people have got inflammation going on for whatever reason, and that can activate the mast cells as well. So they might just always have a runny nose, for example. If your microbiome in your gut is imbalanced, it's known as dysbiosis. This can actually, some specific gut bacteria can actually manufacture histamine. So we don't need that extra lot coming in. And then when we talk about foods, as mentioned, histamine is a type of amine, and there's a list of histamine containing foods. Some of the common ones I've noted are red wine and champagne. Sorry, ladies. Hard cheese.
Yes. Hard
Avocado,
cheese.
again, like that breaks my heart. Avocado. Smoked or canned fish, soy sauce, deli meats, bananas, dried fruit, dried nuts. So some things that are good for us. Bone broth is good. And fermented foods, again, something that's good for us. So, and chocolate. Chocolate liberates histamine. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Can we do dark chocolate at least?
Well, it's the cocoa in there.
Oh, it's
But
the cocoa.
there's things that we can do to reduce this. So that gives you a hint as to where the histamine is coming into our bodies. And in addition to that, we might not be eliminating it because we have an elimination process, as mentioned, with those enzymes. So you can have genetic variations of the DAO and the HNMT enzyme, which can be common. And those two need to clear histamine, and some people's aren't functioning as well. Again, the bacteria, so SIBO, which is short for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, that actually impairs that enzyme activity. Vitamin B6 deficiency. So we need vitamin B6 to make that enzyme, and B6 is also very important in our hormones. And then again, if we've got too much estrogen, it's down regulating the enzymes required to break down the histamines. And then if we don't have enough progesterone, it's not having that opposing effect. Also, if you're on the hormonal birth control, it can imbalance estrogen and progesterone as described.
So yes,
yeah,
just sorry.
you're right.
So histamine, it's for in a basic way. So histamine, it helps to control the allergies. Is that correct?
Uh,
Or
no, we need it for other functions. So
yes.
it does have an inflammatory effect when there's too much of it, but it
Okay.
does stimulate our stomach acid and our brain function, everything like that. So it's just about having the right
Balance
balance.
of histamine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to
Okay.
optimize that balance by looking at why is it
Mm,
imbalanced. And those, a lot of those foods that I mentioned, we don't really want to eliminate a lot of them. We want to be able to look at the other ways we can balance the regulation of histamine in our bodies.
mhm,
Um, so avoiding alcohol and dairy is a good place to start. And I find that unfortunately dairy does cause issues with a lot of people.
mhm.
And alcohol is known to be quite inflammatory.
Yes. But
Um,
still, we still drink it anyway.
yeah. Yeah.
A little bit.
Moderation is the key.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, and then obviously, yeah, as mentioned, reducing the histamine containing foods. We could do that for a short-term solution whilst we work on your
Mhm,
gut, support your liver to clear estrogen. So it's
mhm.
a bit of a big system picture there.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of women I see aren't eating enough fiber
Mhm,
to support the digestive system.
mhm,
And fiber helps lower your estrogen levels, especially when it's contained in cruciferous vegetables, which is
mhm.
broccoli and cauliflower, kale, cabbage, bok choy.
Yeah.
Those vegetables are wonderful for helping eliminate our excess estrogen.
Mm,
And we should all be having at least 3 cups of cooked vegetables a day. And
mhm,
people just aren't meeting that. They're just, I find they're waiting till dinner time to get their veggies in
mm,
instead of thinking, oh, maybe I
mm.
can
Try to
add
that.
some kale to my
Mm,
omelette in the morning and then have it
mm,
at some at lunch. And yeah,
mm. Try to include in little bits. When you're having breakfast, have a little bit of, like you said, put the kale in an omelette or something like that, and at lunchtime as well. And in the snacks, maybe the carrot sticks and things like that as well,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
good strategy.
So yeah. So should we jump into the another question? Are we done with the yeah?
I was just going to touch on FODMAPs because that's
Yes.
another common thing, but I feel like I think you've spoken about the IBS with some of your practitioners before.
Yes.
And
Yes.
FODMAPs are, it stands for fermentable oligo di and monosaccharides and
Mm-hmm.
polyols. You might have spoken about them before. So basically, they're just different sugar molecules found in a wide range of foods, but they're in good foods like legumes and vegetables and fruit as well. So they can produce that gas and bloating that people come to see me about. So with FODMAPs, the Monash University has really dedicated a big interest to a particular protocol which talks about removing them and then slowly bringing them back into your diet so that you have the ability to eat them without triggering symptoms. So yeah, that one is just another common one, not specific to women. Potentially there is a higher prevalence. I didn't actually
Mm-hmm.
find any stats on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So it's the FODMAPs helps to. it- I did look into, yeah, I did the naturopath study. So the FODMAPs is where you eliminate the foods that is that the way that you eliminate the food slowly and then you introduce again, or how do you
Yeah,
do? Mm,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have the Monash University has designed a very good protocol which involves elimination and or a plan for about 2 to 6 weeks,
yeah.
so that you can slowly build up the tolerance
Hmm.
to them and work out. Again, there's probably things going on in your digestive system that needs support to be able to tolerate them better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Needs addressing. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So the what are the best way to find out if we have intolerance or allergies?
So if you suspect a food allergy, you should refer to your GP, and then they can arrange a blood test or a
Mm,
skin prick test, and this will look at that IgE response. The best tool we have for the food intolerances is actually, like with the FODMAP process, a careful observation and experimentation. So
mm,
I like my clients to complete a food and symptom diary
yes.
for at least 2 weeks. So
Mm-hmm.
that just helps them, if they haven't already identified, oh, I had this, and I can see there's a pattern there, that particular food is causing my symptom. So yeah, it's pretty useful when the clients are not sure what your triggers are.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I've done an initial consultation with someone, because I spend about over an hour going through your digestive system, we would start with some small strategies if I can identify there's a common trigger that's causing their symptoms. So we might remove one or two of those suspect foods and then monitor how that goes. As mentioned before, a lot of the time it's not the food that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed a lot of people taking reflux medication, for
Mm,
example.
yes.
So these are known as proton pump inhibitors. They reduce your stomach acid. So we
Mm,
need our stomach acid to digest food.
yes.
So when it's, having that problems at the start, it's going to have a flow-on effect.
Mm,
And those medications are only designed for very short term, but unfortunately, people can stay on them for a long time.
mm,
They've also known to cause dysbiosis if you are on them for a long time. So, trying to work on helping my patients with their stomach acid production,
mm,
so we can slowly get off those things, is a good start. You can try things like apple cider vinegar and bitter greens like rocket lettuce.
mm.
My
To bring
grandma,
up the acid in a,
yeah, it just helps
yes.
stimulate your
Mm,
digestion. And I was
mm.
thinking about this the other day because my grandma's Italian, and before meals, she'd always have radicchio, which is like a
Ah,
red lettuce, and it's
yes,
very
yes.
bitter. And
Bitter.
we'd have that,
Yes.
yeah, we'd have that
Yeah.
salad before like the pasta meal.
Yes.
And I thought they just like to eat a lot. But I thought, gee, that was actually quite a clever strategy
Mm,
to get
yes.
the digestion
Uh,
going.
yeah, in Europe, it's very popular. The
Mm.
radicchio. How do you say
My nonna used to say radicchio.
it? Yes,
Yes.
because yeah, we lived in France for a little bit, and it's very popular. That yes, oh, that's very
Yeah,
clever, isn't it? When you
yeah,
think of it, there is
that's
always a
right.
reason, why people ate this certain way or
Yes,
eat certain
traditional
way.
methods. Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah,
yes, it's amazing.
yeah.
So, okay, so we do we just yeah, so we best way to find out the way to get the food intolerance and the allergy, and what are the ways that we can maintain these two conditions?
So with allergies, you really have to remove the food from your diet
Mm-hmm,
until you hopefully grow out of that allergy.
mm-hmm,
Yet with food intolerances, as mentioned, ultimately some of them are whole foods and they've all got their own nutritional unique profile that we want to have in our diets.
mm-hmm,
So we want to be able to tolerate them. So that's why, yeah, as mentioned, we would probably maybe remove them and slowly introduce them to see
mm-hmm.
what level you can tolerate, and hopefully that improves
Yeah.
as we work on healing the gut and balancing the
Mm-hmm,
hormones and supporting the liver.
mm-hmm,
Um, there's also potentially environmental factors that can
mm-hmm,
be contributing to the problem. Stress.
mm-hmm.
Stress is a major player
It's
in ill
a
health.
big one. Yes.
It is. So the gut brain axis is affected by stress. So that can cause inflammation, inhibiting our digestion.
Mm-hmm,
And then if our vagus nerve is not great at recovering from intermittent stressful responses, we're not going to digest our food properly, and then
mm-hmm,
we'll probably get the bloating and things like that.
yeah.
And also I feel like being mindful and chewing our food and sitting down and enjoying meals with the family is a bit of a tradition that may have been lost along the way with our busy lives.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of us are, rushing from one thing to the next and quickly putting something in our mouths or even eating lunch at our desks with our computers. I'm
Yes.
guilty of that.
Yes. No.
Um,
When we were in Europe, everyone has 2 hours break, lunch break, and
wow,
in
that's
France,
great.
and in summer 2 hours break, and in winter 3 hours break.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness. Because you get to have a
so
sleep
people,
after you eat, or
yeah. In Italy, I think they go for a nap, but in France, I'm not quite sure. But people just sit there and relax and have a chat with their friends and family. And even at lunchtime, they go out with the friends, right, to the restaurant.
yeah,
And the restaurant serves really slowly as well. And it just from the end, they have three-course meal,
yeah,
and they still in a great health, and it just, I think it's part of that tradition of eating slowly and mindfully, and in that social thing, it's not
yeah,
just coughing it down, right?
absolutely. Yeah, I love that.
Yes. Yeah. So okay, so I think we're almost coming to end, Tracy,
Yep.
and um, so to our viewers, if you have any questions, please comment down below for Tracy. And while we're waiting for your questions, please, Tracy, let us know where we can find you, or all the details.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've recently started seeing people face to face at the Good
Mm-hmm.
Joint in Burleigh.
Yes.
We're on Fremantle Street, which is off Cordham Drive. And I love it here because it's a multi-modality clinic. So we've
Mm-hmm.
got chiropractors and exercise physiologists and massage therapists, naturopaths,
Mm-hmm.
PTs, and we've got like a recovery area with like an ice bath and infrared sauna. So
Oh, amazing.
yeah, yeah, it's cool. It's pretty new, and it's nice to be surrounded by like-minded practitioners and
Mm.
hopefully make it like a one-stop shop where someone,
Yes.
can come and see a few of us. We've even got a
Yeah.
breathwork facilitator. So yeah,
It sounds like,
um,
yeah, one stop
yeah,
quite.
it's beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just here Thursday and Saturday mornings at the moment,
Okay.
and I'm online consultations on Fridays.
Oh, yes.
Um,
From
yeah, and then I
home.
have another job. So yeah,
Yes, yes, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Tracy.
no worries.
If you guys would like to send a direct message to Tracy, please, I will put her details in the content. I think that sums it up, Tracy. And thank you so much for coming here today and
Thanks, Ange.
touching on this topic that not that many places or I could find when I did the Googling. Uh, Clarity and me says thank you. Excellent.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for coming here today, everybody. Yes, so thank you so much. And hopefully we'll see you in person somewhere,
Yes,
somewhere soon or in
yes.
event. Thank you
Yes,
so
I want to
much,
come to
Tracy, for
your
coming.
charity event. Yes, been planning to get to that.
Awesome. 8th of September. Everyone, you
Yes.
must come. Yes.
Yeah, sounds
Thank you,
amazing.
Tracy. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Have a
Thanks,
great
Ange.
day.
You too.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.